Happy Cinco de Mayo. Hey, I am Brian Burrows, not your ordinary realtor. And today we're going to talk about step 5 in the process of roadmap to home ownership. So let's go ahead and just kind of review what's going on. Here's the complete roadmap. If you guys are just picking up now, I've been going over the last 5 days. So back up to the first one if you have not followed along. But yesterday, we talked about making an offer and kind of what's involved. We're going to talk a little bit more about the offer and the contract and negotiation and all that kind of fun stuff. So basically, when you send an offer, the seller can either accept it, they can reject it, or they can send a counter offer. So with a counter offer, they're going to look at the terms and they're going to say, no, these are the terms we want. Usually it's the price. They may actually change a couple of other things as well. Sometimes they, forget, hey, I want the chandelier. I don't want to have that, and I forgot to put it in there, so we're going to exempt that. Just little things like that. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this. So sometimes I can even go back and forth more than once. So, they may send something back to you, and you say, well, I'm not sure that I like those terms either. Let's try and make it a little bit more even or more in favor of what we want. Maybe, we go up a little bit, but not quite so much. And that's always happened as well. So, it's just a good practice to, get involved. Some of these contracts, they've had multiples 10 times back and forth on an offer before it's actually accepted, which gives a little bit of a long paper trail, but that's okay. All right, so let's say that the contract has been, or the offer has been accepted. Now you're under contract. Now you have a lot of things you need to do. These are all called due diligence timelines. So the first thing you want to do, obviously you have your financing in place. You want to inspect the physical condition of the home. So I definitely recommend getting an inspector, getting the home inspected. They do charge. It's going to be anywhere from, let's say, about $600 to $1,200, depending on the size of the home. It may be more, it may be less. So definitely want to get some kind of inspection from somebody that is very, very highly qualified. That way, you know what's wrong with the home. And then later on, what we do is we resubmit basically to have all of those conditions fixed that are really needing attention. So if you don't do a home inspection, you may end up with some situations that maybe you didn't know about, but all of a sudden now you've got a lot of costs involved in repairs and things like that. So depending on what kind of loan you get, you may be able to get by with just saying, hey, if you can't fix these things, just give us some cash at closing. FHA doesn't always like those things. They like to have things kind of fixed before closing. So it also depends on the loan on that side. So definitely some things to think about. This also gives you a timeline. When are we closing? Usually go between 4 to 6 weeks total before closing. Usually about, if you're going to close in 4 weeks, usually about a week before you want your timeline for your financing. That one's going to be, it's going to be set in stone with your lender that, yes, we will be able to close on this date. If you can't, then you can actually cancel a contract by that date. So if it's on a 6-week close, I usually like to put it on 5 weeks. In that, you're also going to have, besides the inspection, besides everything else, there's going to be an appraisal deadline. So you need to get an appraisal, and an appraisal, usually it's ordered from your lender. You don't know who the appraiser is. They send out an appraiser and they say yes or no, this home is worth this much. So there's another point where you may be renegotiating the contract as well. So if your lender isn't giving you enough money to buy the home because it didn't qualify for that much money, then that's when you renegotiate the price, and then get it, get it to a price that you can actually qualify for on the loan. If not, that's why I like I said yesterday, I like to evaluate the home, do a CMA, current market analysis on the property, make sure it is within that range, so that even if the seller's asking too much, we can ask for a little bit less and get it right within that range, so there's not a problem on the back end. All right, so that is it for today, and we will see you on Monday. I'm Brian Burrows with Equity Real Estate. Visit my website, buyandsellinutah.com. All right, and I will see you guys all again on Monday.